So how many of us know about this artist known as Keith Haring? This artist from the 1980s in New York. So his bio says that his pop art emerged from the New York City graffiti subculture of the 1980s. His animated imagery has become a widely recognized visual language. Much of his work includes sexual allusions that turned into social activism, but using the images to advocate for safe sex and AIDS awareness. He will be known for murals like this, art pieces that look community and childhood friendly like this, even fashion pieces such as these, and this, and this. But I'm making this video to kind of challenge, was it all just about, safe sex awareness? Was it all social activism? I am not coming at a particular community. I am coming at, is what he's saying truly what he was standing for? So I was gifted a book and I documented some photos, saved them to my Google Drive and phone. I'm not here to pick at Keith Haring. I just question images like these, or images like these, like they're worshiping like a golden calf or something. Images such as these, there's a lot of depictions of flying saucers seeming to anoint idols, dogs, people doing specific acts like these. Why is it that these entities are over here activating, anointing, maybe even giving their blessing for certain acts? Dolphins, I don't know. But yeah, even the dolphin has an encounter with this. You see? What's up with the alien flashing the building? I find it interesting that if you look at a lot of the side photos, like right here, I'll point some out. Many different things were titled Untitled. I didn't capture all of them, but a lot of times in this book I was gifted that I've since got rid of, because you guys don't know, when I first got it and I started to open it up, I was rushed with so much like anxiety and feelings of fear looking throughout the book, and it was like I think it was almost getting stronger the more I was like opening it. So I did eventually get rid of the book, but this is for documentation and for educational or observance purposes, spiritual educational purposes. Keith Haring said that he was under the influence of LSD and psychedelic drugs, and that some instances he didn't really know what he was making. I thought this was harmless at first. This is actually the cover of the book I was gifted, and it was a third eye. So I was gifted this book because I was told that I was an artist and I had expressed interest in Keith Haring, but I didn't know this type of art. I just knew his community-based art, and I even modeled a lot of my a little bedroom exhibit that I made during COVID off of the art that was more conventional, and I was then gifted this book. Look at the alien over the dog. All the other dogs are on their forelegs, but this one is starting to rise like a werewolf, or like a half human, half dog, kind of, right? There's many theories of what aliens are and how they've impacted the genetics of beings when we start talking about, the history of the Nephilim. I find it interesting that these clocks are pointing to the number 11. So if you have 1111, when you see these pictures on top of each other, I believe this was a friend. I actually think he's a well-known artist. King. I gotta get back to that. Yeah, he's standing next to Keith Haring because Keith Haring would sometimes without permission go to subways and start painting over the signs as a way to promote his art, which he didn't necessarily get in trouble for. It was just a bold promotion, which actually boosted the promotion of his art. I find it interesting, the number 7 on the far left corner, as well as the souls leaving the two bodies. Yep. There were some depictions of photos I don't have as of now, but there are a lot of religious and sacrilegious images, like upside down cross, a woman giving birth to a man who's black, colored, who almost looks like he's opposing Christ, like maybe, I don't know, I'll get to that later. We got a lot of images of these, and somehow these things approving, anointing, activating technology, and then that technology then impacting man. I hope TikTok doesn't take this down, but there are people dancing under these things, looking like they're partying, under an influence. There goes the influence. And more imagery of pythons and snakes chasing people inside of a television. I guess you can say that with some of these images, you can say they're on TV, on screens, porn. I find it interesting that his phallus then turns into a anaconda, which is very spiritual. I can speak on some stuff of things I may have seen in dreams in the past. This image was upside down, but you get the picture, right? What I found really interesting was all the images throughout the book of constant reoccurrences of Mickey Mouse. Look at it. Do you see what I see in images like these? One is born, and at the same time one is born, one is going down under. Many going down under. There's many themes of not only religious, sacrilegious themes, but there's also many themes of Egypt. And when you start to think about it, a lot of his work does look like a type of hieroglyphic style, does it not? Mickey Mouse again. Wow. So I actually have way more images. Stay tuned for more, because I think there's a lot of things to observe, a lot of things to decode. I feel like this has a lot more to do than just like what it says that his art talks about the practicing of safe sex. If you ask me, there's a lot more behind the surface of what Mr. Keith Haring has created.